My name is Amina, and this is the story of one single night that irrevocably changed how I understood marriage, how I understood love, and most importantly, how I understood myself. I was only 19 years old when my parents told me I was getting married. In our small, traditional Muslim family, this was the way things were done. I didn't even know the boy well. Just his name, a blurry photo, and a few kind, repetitive words from my relatives, saying he was a good man, educated, and had a stable job abroad. Everyone around me seemed overwhelmingly happy, excited for the celebration. But inside, I was trembling. Marriage for them was a grand celebration. For me, it was a sudden, crushing mix of confusion and fear. I didn't know what to expect. People whispered strange things about the first night. Some girls giggled, sharing vague, nervous warnings. Others were more direct, be ready. It's part of marriage. The wedding day passed in a blinding blur of lights, loud music, and forced, fake smiles. My heart pounded relentlessly as the time came when I had to leave my family and go to his house. My new, unknown home. His name was Hassan. He looked decent, polite, and quiet. When I entered the room that night, my hands were cold, clammy. The room was beautiful, decorated with soft flowers and flickering candles. Everything looked deeply romantic, but my heart was heavy with dread. I sat silently on the edge of the bed, weighed down by the heavy red dress, unable to meet his eyes. He came closer, and instead of taking control, he paused. He said softly, "Amina, you look incredibly tired. You don't have to be scared." Those words surprised me with their sheer kindness. No one had said anything so gentle or empathetic to me the whole day. He sat down beside me, but didn't touch me. Instead, he asked simply, "Are you comfortable?" I nodded slightly, my voice still stuck deep in my throat. After a few minutes of shared silence, he continued, "I know exactly what people expect from this night. I know the pressure. But I want to tell you something foundational. You're not an object, Amina. You're my partner, not my possession." The tears, hot and sudden, rolled down my face. The heavy, paralyzing fear I had carried all day slowly, finally began to fade. No one had ever talked to me like that, with such profound respect, not demand. He smiled gently, a true smile this time, and said, "Let's not rush anything. We have a lifetime to understand and respect each other." That night, we didn't do what everyone expected. We just talked. We talked about our childhoods, our simple dreams, and our deep fears. For the very first time, I realized the real truth about the first night. It's not about physical closeness. It's about emotional connection. As the night went on, I told him how terrified I was because of the stories other girls had told me about pain, force, and humiliation. He listened carefully, holding my hand softly, and promised me, "That's not love, Amina. That's pressure. I promise I'll never make you feel that way." I fell asleep that night with a sense of peace I hadn't known I was capable of feeling. The candles faded, but a new light had started to grow inside me. The light of understanding and respect. The next morning, I woke up before Hassan. The room was quiet, sunlight softly touching the curtains. My heart still felt warm, remembering how gently he had spoken to me. But when I went to the kitchen, his mother smiled and said softly, "So, how was your night?" Her tone immediately made me deeply uncomfortable. I looked down, not knowing what to say. Society had turned the first night into something to be judged. Not about love, but about proof. For the next few days, I noticed how people around me whispered and laughed. Some of my cousins even teased me with knowing looks. It made me realize that for many people, marriage wasn't about feelings or partnership. It was entirely about satisfying external expectation. But Hassan was different. Every day, he showed me respect, not through grand gifts, but through simple, consistent kindness. He helped me in the kitchen. He asked about my dreams for the future. He actively supported my quiet wish to study again. One evening, as we sat on the rooftop, watching the sun set over the city, he said, "Amina, I want us to build our relationship slowly on a solid foundation. I don't want you to ever feel afraid of me." I looked at him with tears in my eyes. "You're not like other men," I whispered. He smiled gently. "No, Amina. I'm just trying to be the kind of man every woman deserves." Weeks turned into months, and our bond grew deeper and more profound. We learned to talk, to laugh, and to share absolutely everything without fear of judgment. But one day, the outside pressure broke through our bubble. A group of Hassan's friends came over. They were loud, arrogant, and clearly immature. One of them said jokingly, in front of everyone, "So, Hassan, how was your first night? Did you finally prove your manhood?" My face instantly burned with shame. I froze, waiting for Hassan to nervously laugh it off. But he stood up immediately. "Stop it," he said, his voice cold and unwavering. "You don't talk about women like that, especially my wife." The room fell into a heavy, uncomfortable silence. In that defining moment, I realized his true strength wasn't just in his kindness to me privately. It was in his integrity, in standing up for what was right publicly. Later, I told him, "Thank you for protecting my dignity." He replied, "Amina, respect is the foundation of love. Without it, a marriage is nothing but a gilded cage." Over time, I began to see other women's pain more clearly. Girls forced into marriages, wives treated simply as property, women silenced after abuse. Many of them were told the same lie